Hi, I'm John from Worthington Distribution. Welcome to our video on Somfy integration with the Leviton Security and Automation products. Today we're going to go over the components you're going to need in order to do the integration, as well as a few steps that you need to take to actually get the shades operating with your Omni panel. As always, make sure that you follow any NEC or electrical codes in your area, and I'll always be safe when you are working with anything that involves AC. So, what I want to launch into first is I'm going to have Tom from Somfy kind of step behind the desk here, and we'll sort of jump cut over to him, and he'll introduce you to some of the pieces and parts that you need to do the integration.
Hi, I'm Tom from Somfy, and I want to introduce you to the Somfy parts needed to integrate motorized window coverings powered by Somfy into the Omni panel and the Lumina gateway. For RTS integration, you will need the TELUS remote control that controls the motorized window coverings in that room. This is a TELUS 4 remote control. In addition, you will also need a universal RTS interface. This will connect to the Omni panel through RS-485 and give you 256 available RTS channels for control. If instead of RTS and you want a more hardwired approach to your shading solution, we have our Somfy digital network, which is controlled through the Omni panel through direct serial RS-485. Finally, to integrate SDN shades into the Lumina gateway, we have our ZigBee to digital motor interface. This connects to any one of our Somfy digital motors and integrates into the Lumina RF gateway through ZigBee.
So now I just want to go through some of the steps you're going to need in order to have RTS integrated with your Omni panel. As Tom had shown, you will need your remote control, which is currently operating the shades in the room that you want to integrate into your Omni system. And you also need your ERTC controller, which will again be tied into your Omni panel once you're all done. So in order to get the shade to operate underneath the channel on the ERTC, what you'll do is you want to set your RTS remote. Make sure if you have a multi-channel one, it is set on the channel that you actually operate the shades on. Flip it over to the back. There is a recess button on here. You'll press and hold that programming button for a few seconds until the shade jogs, like so. Then you'll want to set the rotary dial on the front of your ERTC to the channel that you want to have it operate on your Omni panel. In this case, I want it on channel number 1. Then I press and hold the programming button on this until once again the shade jogs. At this point, the shade is now learning to channel 1 on my ERTC. If I had other shades, what I would do is I would move around the room, and I would also go ahead and follow these same steps to learn into all the channels. Once you're done learning all of your shades into your ERTC, what you'll want to do is you'll want to take your rotary dial and make sure that you set it for channel number 1 on here, because this is going to be the only ERTC I'm going to have in the system. I want it to be on channel 1. And at that point then, I would go into PC Access, change my house code format over to Somfy RTS, and in that point then I can start to name my units, and I can put in which ERTC address it goes on and which channel on that ERTC is actually operating that shade. As Tom had also mentioned, there is also a hardwired option for Omni integration with Somfy shades. That's actually done through Somfy Digital Networks through a hardwired RS-485 connection. There is actually a special pinout that you want to follow with that. We do build cables here in order to make that connection between the two, and we do that here in-house at Worthington. We'll custom cut the cables to whatever length you want, and there is a nominal fee involved with doing that. And then we can also help walk you through, get you to where you need to go in order to have your SDN addressing and things like that straight for Omni integration. So the final piece to everything as far as Leviton Security and Automation integration would be the ZigBee DMI or ZigBee digital motor interface. As Tom had mentioned, you do need one of these for each one of the shades that you have that you're tying into a Lumina RF panel. And this will then basically allow those shades to show up as a shading device on a Lumina RF gateway. So there's very little that needs to be done. Basically, each one of these gets tied in between your power supply and the actual 485 bus on the motor itself. And then you would just pair this with your Lumina RF gateway, just like you would any other device with your Lumina RF gateway. So that about wraps everything up with the integration between Leviton Security and Automation and automated treatments powered by Somfy. We certainly want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And as always, feel free to check out the rest of our YouTube content or visit worthingtonu.com to check out some of our other streaming training. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at 800-282-8864, or you can send inquiries to sales@worthdisc.com. Thank you again for watching this video, and we hope you have a great day.